Welcome to a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I had a lot of things that I wanted to go over with you today. Wanted to update you and take things a little bit further from the last couple of weeks of talking about music therapy. And I did get a couple emails back from Carla about how to take it further. Also, I'll talk about a couple challenges that have come to mind. The idea of some courses that I'm participating in and thinking of developing some of my own as well. A reminder that I will continue working on my YouTube channel and editing these lives to condense them a little bit and add some extra links and images for a more streamlined viewing experience, and I'm posting those on YouTube. I'm even going back in Facebook from the previous year, downloading those before they get archived and tossed, re-editing those, putting those on YouTube as well. So that channel will keep developing as time goes on. Let's see, some guests to announce today for the next couple months. I think that's the basic things that I'm going to cover today. So to start with, I'm going to talk about a few ways to take our music therapy ideas that we've discussed the last 2 weeks, from developing the playlist of our lifetime, the music that kind of has played in the background or seems to represent the different stages of our life. So that was 1 week. And then we talked to Carla, a music therapist, last week. And she had some ideas for taking that playlist even a little bit further and really focusing in on the emotions that different songs bring up for us. And I would absolutely play some songs as examples today, but with copyright, we don't want to infringe on that and get in trouble. So I'm not going to be playing any music, but take these ideas and apply it to the music that you like to listen to. Identifying different songs that seem to spark or resonate with different emotions in you, and create a list, a playlist on your phone or wherever you like to listen to music that kind of walks you through different emotions and ends on the one that you most enjoy feeling, the state of being that you feel confident and calm and safe in. And then you can come back to this playlist at any time, pick the song that you most resonate with at that moment, and then follow the playlist to its end point and get back to that state of being that you enjoy. So that was one thing of the moving through emotions type playlist. Kind of reminded me of the emotional thermometer activity that we did. Actually, we did that one a couple months ago. Then there's the songwriting, the idea of writing your own songs. And she said it can be as simple as picking out a song you like and replacing the lyrics with more personal lyrics. For example, take the Sound of Music song that's titled A Few of My Favorite Things, and instead of singing their list of favorite things, you put in your list of favorite things. And you can take it as complicated as completely writing your own song, picking out the instruments, the melody, the harmony, the tempo, the rhythm, the style. What are the lyrics and what are the vocals like? So you can get as complicated as that. Then you can move into analysis of either the songs you wrote or the songs you're listening to, or that song that just for some odd reason is stuck in your head or resonates with you today. And what is it about that song that resonated today? Was there an emotion that it triggered, or an emotion that you're having that really triggered you to be drawn to that song? Is it something about the actual music in the song? Is it something about the words in the song? And then obviously there's the different parts of the song, lyrics of verse, chorus, bridge, things like that, to do some analysis of that. And I'll have some more of these questions detailed in the newsletter that I send out this week. You can register for that at HopeAndHealingAtHome.com. And then I was thinking of one other way to kind of merge music therapy and art therapy, and that is to put on a song, whatever song you choose for the day or the moment, and just create something visual, whether it's playing with watercolors or pencils or markers or clay or collage elements. The lines you make, the colors you choose, the pressure you use, the pace, the speed that you move your hand or the material, all fun ideas. I have been selected to be part of the Reflecting Light Conference, July 9th through 10th. I'm going to do a class with some art and some ideas about identity, about releasing lies, and that's going to be titled Living Lightly. And I have a feeling I am going to expand that into a full class. So that would be my first course. So if there's things that you'd like to make sure I incorporate into that, whether it's specific materials or a video on specifically how to use the materials, as well as the transformative power of art, let me know. I'm doing this video today to really say to you, I really, really appreciate and desire feedback from you so that I can design lives, videos, courses, different things that are most beneficial to you. Okay, so we looked at taking music therapy a little further, looked at courses, talked about YouTube. Two other things that I want to touch on today are 2 different challenges and then my upcoming guests. There is a challenge that I just saw today, Birds For Sofia. They are collecting artwork that has something to do with birds, and you hashtag it with Birds For Sofia, and they are going to be auctioning off those pieces. So whether you want to create the piece or you just want to go buy a piece, the auction will be in August, and they are raising money for children with SMA. Thought it was just a cool way of raising money for some kids who need some extra research and support in their care. Be a blessing to the kids, a blessing to the families. And then the other challenge I wanted to mention was the 100 tree challenge. Lots and lots of ways to do it. I know 100 sounds like an overwhelming amount, but you don't have to do it alone. You can add your imagery of trees to the images of others and just be inspired. If you join the challenge, you'll be part of a private Facebook group where we're posting our images, and I'll throw some of mine down. I have made 16 today. I'm working on number 17. So take your time. You don't have to do all of these in one day. It's an opportunity to play with materials, play with how you look at trees. I've noticed that I am more observant to the trees around me. One day, I was just really inspired by some graph paper, and I played with some very simple materials, pen, pencil, and collage. The flower of hydrangea, this one has different papers, some are shiny, some are not, and actually this is part of a Kleenex box. So never, sometimes garbage can be a great art medium to use. It can really prompt some things. A scrap of paper really inspired that one. This one might be one of my favorite ones, actually. Super tiny, just a pen, and a very thin piece of paper. And then on the back of them, I wrote messages, because that comes into the second part of this challenge. One day I was looking at images of a tree and then zooming in a little bit closer on the tree, playing with different ways of depicting and focusing. So this one I focused on what was the negative space around the tree, and then focusing in on the details, really zooming in and seeing it different. It's part of the challenge is all about playing with materials and looking at the beauty in the trees around us and knowing that there's a ton of different ways of depicting that. And then the other part of the challenge is to write some kind of an encouragement message on the back. Now you can give these to specific people, so you can get really specific in your message, or you can let inspiration hit as you create your piece and then anonymously drop these off in people's mailboxes, at their car, on their desk, in their locker, and just spread beauty. Trees are constantly spreading seed and spreading beauty and adding, well, in the end, they can add warmth when you build a fire, or shelter when you build a house, as well as when they're living. They are shelter and beauty for us to watch through the seasons, and shelter for all sorts of different animals. So 100 tree challenge, just about seeing trees differently and finding different ways to depict them. And then as trees are always providing for us beauty, shelter, seeds, they're spreading themselves for generations. We're going to send encouraging messages with our 100 trees and spread them out. And again, if 100 seems overwhelming, just make a couple, add them to the group's forest that we're creating, and see what happens. And I thought for the piece of art that I would make today, so I just took a piece of scratch paper. I looked at my collage box of different images I've been collecting and started to cut some things out. I think that one was from a card. These birds here are actually from an envelope. They were right on the envelope, so I cut them out. I'm thinking of combining that challenge, the Birds for Sofia art challenge, with my 100 tree challenge, so it'll count for both. And then there were some stamps that I, like postage stamps with birds on one of the letters I had gotten, so I cut the birds out. And a happy little accident happened while I was doing that. I realized that it separated from the envelope. So now, in addition to these birds here, I have a white silhouette and a blue silhouette. I just enjoy those little happy accidents that can happen as we cut things out. And that also happened again when I was using a paper punch, just basic round paper punch, and I was cutting out this nice pattern. I didn't want to tediously cut around each circle with scissors, so I got a paper punch that was, it's about the size of the circles because I like that texture. And as I was doing that, some of them flipped over and have all these really fun colors. So I'll have decisions upon decisions to make as I finally glue this piece together. And am I going to have a blue texture or multicolored orbs, stars? Not sure what they're going to be. How will I combine that? I'm not sure at this moment. I'm just letting this piece develop, and I will post the finished piece when I do get it done. Then I wanted to just touch base real quick. I've got some great guests coming up. Next week is Catherine from Widowed Not Alone. Her site has terrific, encouraging posts and stories. There's a couple that actually stand out in my mind. I don't know if these pictures caught my attention because they were animals, or the snake one that I'm thinking of is actually a little bit disturbing, and I'm like, I have to find out the story behind this. It's a very profound story, so I encourage you to look that one up. And then the other one was about a donkey, and it seems like it's going to have a really sad ending, but it has a good, happy ending and another good, encouraging point to it. But I do encourage you, all of these guests have great Instagram sites. Catherine, Widowed Not Alone, is next week. Check her stuff out. Come hear about her story and the work that she does with Widowed Not Alone. Then in July, another art therapist from Wisconsin, actually, named Heather, is going to come on and talk about her favorite things about art therapy and how she uses it. Probably do a little demonstration. And I always think it's interesting. Every therapist does therapy a little bit differently and sees a different value in it for how they've worked with clients. And so even though we might have the same degree and same job title, we do it a little bit differently. So I think there's a lot to be learned from each other, and I think you'll enjoy meeting her. Then in August, we're going to focus in on trauma with Jen from Soul Springs Art. So she's got a very good thing going that focuses on trauma and healing from trauma. In September, Jenna is going to be doing art journaling as a conversation with God, and she has a terrific YouTube site as well. Lots of demonstrations and walking you through the process visually. Those are a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Things I wanted to cover. I just had a lot of things I wanted to share today, so I didn't want to hone in on just one thing. I wanted to touch base on all of them so that next week we really focus on Catherine. I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend and take a little time to enjoy nature around you, people around you. Take a little time for yourself to do a little something creative. Listen to music, create a collage, play with color, enjoy the trees or the flowers or the birds outside. And do let me know if you have something specific that you'd like to learn more about through one of these lives or on a course that I develop, whether it's a material, an emotion, a whole topic, a process like a trauma processing course. If you'd like me to go through a book such as Overcoming the Nevers, or my book Hope and Healing at Home, or my other book about grief, do let me know. I can accomplish all of those things. I just want to know what direction is going to be the biggest benefit for you, what answers your questions, what meets your needs. So I'm very open and desiring of your feedback, comments, and questions, and hope you have a great day.